So our next speaker is from Australia, Miss Mireille Toulekima, award-winning entrepreneur, energy expert, and STEM expert, and she will be discussing about SDG 5, gender equality. Miss Mireille, over to you. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me today. I would like to thank Rania for inviting me to be part of this conference, and I'm really delighted to share, on the SDGs, because that's really the SDG 5. That's really my focus on everything that I do. It's gender equality, but it's more the part of empowering women and girls that I really focus my work on. And why is that? Because I feel that women have, they have the potential, and they're not always, included, especially in a lot of developing countries. They're not always included as, potential, agent that can bring value, economic value first, but also value socially. And that's why I'm focusing on that. And what I do, I use STEM. I focus on STEM as well, because I think, with us being in the digital, in the fourth industrial revolution, and really facing this digital revolution, it's important that women have, access to that, because that's going to be a key enabler to empower them. So that's really what what I do. The focus that I put on on women. And I've been able to, I'm going to share just a few slides. I understand that there's just, 6 or 7 minutes, but what I really want to emphasize is show the work that I've been doing. So I started a social venture in Uganda, in Africa, and also here in Australia, targeting more the indigenous girls and women to really push them to be part of the STEM revolution, help them to, way to integrate STEM into their life, but also be part of the STEM and not be left behind. And it's also a way to empower them economically, because we know that the STEM, all the jobs have now a STEM, a STEM link. If you work in the health sector, you work in, any sector, STEM, as is there. So they have to be, if they really want to empower themselves, they have to be there. And if they want to be in those just, very STEM, oriented job, those are the jobs that are actually also well paid. And that's also an incentive for them, if they want to get those well-paid jobs, to get into STEM and have, have them get economically free. So just, it's going to take maybe 2 minutes just to talk through the few slides. It's from, from previous work anyway. So it's going to go very quickly. Bear with me. Okay. So just gonna give you a visual. So it's the middle of the presentation, but just to really reiterate that STEM is very important for the women empowerment, because, like I put it here, it offers them so many options as part of, as part of being part of the economy and helping the economy to be sustainable and having a role to play themselves as well, and really drive, especially for those developing countries, help, to drive the economy, help to really be part of it. So that's really where, I come from. But, obviously, it's always a challenge, because it's always a challenge. The opportunities are there, but sometimes the environment is not actually conducive, and the tools are not available. So as somebody who has the exposure and can do it, that's in this context that I created what I call the STEM Queens. So that's a project, that's a social venture project that I've launched with a local woman. She's also part of the STEM. She's a pilot, and together we've put, this structure to be able to champion, girls. So we target girls that are at the end of the secondary school, ready to go to university, but also women who want to, who actually looking for opportunity. Either they have, skills, but they can't get a job, or they can't do anything, or they just want to shift because whatever they are doing is not really making them happy, or not, sustaining them economically. And that's really what we do. We've been running it for 3 years now. We started in 2018, and I started the same project here in Australia in 2019, just before the pandemic. But obviously with the pandemic, things have been very, very slow. So this is the team that we have there. And so they've been working together, very, very dynamic, young, a young woman, really, ready to help, empower girls and women on the ground. So they do outreach, camp, all kind of, seminars, just to make sure that people understand what STEM is all about. And when they do those camp, they make sure that it's related to something that can speak to the local girls or the women. For example, for the girls, sometimes they make soap. So in soap, you're talking about chemistry and all kind of things. So you can explain to them why it's important for them to have those skills. Then they can make some soap. They can create all kind of, a thing that can be useful for them into the environment. So we don't try to be too, come with a lot of big theory and things like that. We just spot something that can really click and something that they are familiar with, so that they understand, wow, STEM is part of my life. So I really want to push forward and learn more. So that's really what we do. So we've had camp, with young girls trying to create, anything, being innovative. Some of them have created, small boxes where they can put, things into it, and really just be basic about everything that we do, and really pushing them to appreciate first, instead of, and I know a lot of women, and especially a lot of girls, are actually disqualifying themselves already when they hear about STEM. They're like, oh, no, it's for boys, it's not for us. But when they see where STEM has, an input in everything in their life, they're more curious and they're more willing to be part of it. So this project is really about, empowering them economically, and increase, the participation as well of women in STEM. And we know there's a gap, even, without talking about empowering women, there's a gap in STEM. They need people, they need, more. The workforce is that we have right now is not delivering. So it's really about tapping into the women, the girls, potential, so that we can also help to close this gap. And what we do is we're trying to go to the underprivileged girls, in the regional area, because we feel like they are the ones that need it more. And a lot of them have tremendous potential. And because they are in rural area, or because they are really, you know, completely isolated, then, you know, we just, you know, we just lose this potential. So that's what we're doing. So I think that's where I want to leave it. And my conclusion is really to say that we all have a role in a way. We can, you know, always, because sometimes we're waiting for somebody else to empower us, or to empower, you know, we're waiting for the men to empower women, to empower girls. But we can start something just from scratch, because when we started this project, we didn't have, you know, it was not about money, but we pulled everybody together. And now it's, you know, driving. We had some cohorts of girls really not doing a tremendous, you know, things. I have a girl that we've mentored who has now opened a lab in DRC, which is in Congo, and now she's empowering girl locally. So that's really what it's all about. And really it's about the momentum, and it's about, you know, believing in it and making sure, you know, those girls and those women fully participate into it, and then we empower not only the woman, but we empower the world as well. So that's all. I know it's, you know, it was 6-7 minutes. I've passed the time, so I hope that, you know, it's been something that you could, you know, take and learn from. And if you need more information, please don't hesitate to reach out.